So we're excited. It's really exciting. It's like the van all over again. It's this new chapter. There's more moving parts, and we have to get it home 27 hours from here. Rachel's going to drive the van for the first time, so that's going to limit us. We're not going to want to drive at night. There's the pain of where we're going to have to park a 40-foot bus wherever we're staying. So that eliminates lots of
truck stops, I bet.
Yeah, we'll piss off truckers, but what do you do? I mean, we're transporting it home, you know? Because, I mean, we never take a trucker's spot at rest areas, but when we're going home now, once we get to certain states, that's going to be the only option we have, is to park the bus and then the van behind it, or find dispersed camping off the road. So that'll be interesting. You'll have to tag along for the adventure. This is going to be...
we don't know how it'll go either.
We're hoping it goes smooth. We should buy another GoPro. Not that you need to be fidgeting around, but get your side of the experience while you're in the van alone. You're going to be a bit in vehicles alone, traveling across the U.S. We'll have to get mounts for our phones to where we can just GPS and have it on, like we can chat with each other.
Told you too, yeah. Maybe a headset.
Yeah, oh, truckers. Ice road
that.
Truckers. We need to figure out if we want to go any further south, if we do want to go over to California. That's fine.
We had potentially another 6 weeks on the road. Like, it's a long time to, like, have had a nervousness, you know, of things, and I'm
gonna have to stop at a hardware store and buy just a cheap plug-in grinder with cut-off wheels. I have a ton of them, but it takes so much time to remove these seats because you have to cut the bolts, I believe. I think they're riveted on. Maybe not, since there's not rust. That's something I can do when we're just hanging out in Moab in the desert or whatever. I can run the generator, run off the house, the batteries in here to start removing some of the seats so they're not bolted down, just to... If all goes according to plan, and hopefully it does, because this bus is ours. We own it. Which is insane. I've never drove a bus. I'm excited. So yeah, this is the real part of where now we have to figure out a complete new game plan. Not that there was anything concrete before, because there really wasn't concrete plans. There was just loose plans of all these people we want to and wanted to meet up with. But it's kind of hard scheduling or coordinating schedules, and we got to see if it's worth, you know, driving 18 more hours total to see, you know, family or friends for just a day or two. But yeah, we'll have to figure out how all this is going to work, because...
And we can go home earlier too. It's not the end of the world.
I don't want to go home. It's cold. It's snow for the whole week. My brother said it was super cold there, so I definitely, that's not what I want to do at all. I would rather sit out here, whether we pick out the bus or not. We still want to spend time in Utah, for sure. And there's dispersed camping to where...
You mean by Zion?
Zion would be fine. Bryce Canyon at Phil's Trailhead's going to be snow. Wasn't that called Phil's Trailhead? That's Bend. Tom's
Well.
Yeah. That one's going to be snow.
Bob's.
Maybe not in a month, but I'm guessing probably still snow. We want to see our friends in Salt Lake City. They just bought a home and moved there, so that would be cool, but we'll for sure have to figure something out. I doubt they're wanting... I mean, it's not a dilapidated, ran-down bus, so maybe they'd be cool with it, but I don't know if they want a schoolie parked in their neighborhood.
For 4 days.
Even if we see them for a day or two. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting dynamic of travel now, incorporating that damn bus, but it
sounds like already it's a positive.
Oh, for sure.
He could have gotten a phone call today and they could have said, you know, "Ugh, good luck with that thing. That lemon." You know, I mean, it could have been...
I just mean, I 1000% agree with you. I mean in the sense of, like, our travels home aren't going to be as loose as they were with the van. Where it's just like, oh, we'll park in a rest stop, we'll park in a Cracker Barrel, we'll go through Colorado through the mountains. Like,
right.
Those things are going to be different than we're used to. But we're also glad that we've done van life now for 3 years. This is our 3rd year. We don't have a huge itch to just move into a home and be stuck somewhere and be in debt to where we don't feel we have the option to travel and take trips and leisurely do the things that we enjoy and want to do. Would we like a planted tiny home somewhere or an A-frame? Absolutely. Do we think we need a 2,000 or 2,500 square foot home? Not for this chapter right now, and I don't think that's like in the wheelhouse or the plans for the foreseeable future. But we do want something with more space than the van to where we can cook meals together. We can, or Rachel can, read or work at a couch that's like a living room setup. We can have possibly a wood stove. It's bigger to where when it's heated and cooled, if you crack a door, all of the heat and cool doesn't just go right out. I mean, it'll be roughly 300 square feet.
3 times the size of this? More than that?
Yeah, more than that, because this is, we've never done the math from here to there. We should, but I think it's like 75 or 70 square feet. So, and having a bunch of water, having an actual bathroom to where we can take longer showers or full-on showers, having a composting toilet, an oven to do actual cooking and meals that we can stand and sit next to each other and meal prep, clothing that's hung up. So it's not that we're over van life. Like, this van, as we've said before, is like, it's the best for out here. We very much enjoy it. But if we're dialing things back, we don't want the decision fatigue of where are we going to stay, where are we going to go, and just planning routes for like a month or 2 at a time. The schoolie makes the most sense because we're not putting all of our investment into one dot on the map. And then if we get sick of it, if we don't like the neighbors, if whatever the situation may be, we can, you know, move the schoolie down the road, and that's our 300 square feet of home that goes with us until we figure out where we want to live. And we're like, okay, hey, we want to plant roots here, because we've been saying that for 3 years now. We initially thought when we hit the road the first time that it was like this taste test of the United States buffet. We'll figure out where we want to live, and now we have all these sweet spots every year. So weird. It's such a weird component going to all these BLM spots that are not ours, but we're familiar with. And when we pull in and go down that dirt road off the interstate, we're just kind of like, oh, we're home. We're visiting our vacation home.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Pretty weird.
It's cool though. What a beautiful thing to have home feel. All these places feel like home in so many different places across the map. So being a nomad and van life has certainly taught us that. Home is wherever I'm with you. Cheers.
Not my favorite beer.
Sorry, you want some of this?
One. No,
saving it for a rainy day.
I've been saving it. No, I'm mad. How's yours?
Mine's good. I love that one. It's dark, but it's good. That's exactly what I was craving.
I still like the other one better.
Which one?
Goose Island.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those Goose Island ones were good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we gotta... There's part of me in how I operate that I want to drive out of here tomorrow morning, stop at Planet Fitness, shower, go pick up this school bus. And no, I know it's an option. I know it's an option, and we could do that. And I could start building it out. Like, I mean, not full scale. There's a ton of work. We want to do a roof raise, got to remove all the seats, gut it, all that stuff. So that stuff will take time. And that's something I can do out here in the desert. But another component is, it's like there's all of these things that we want for the schoolie, and traveling 750, well, probably close to 2,000 miles, bouncing all over and seeing our friends and stuff on our way back home. That's a lot of areas to go through. To quick search on Marketplace or Craigslist, you know, water tank, cabinets, and we have a 40-foot bus that we can fill with stuff to bring back to the Midwest. But that's hard because I don't want to just be picking stuff up and buying stuff and not knowing where the process is and how we want to lay it out. But that's how we saved a ton of money with this. That's the best way to do it. You find someone renovating a home, I'll go in and tear out all the tongue and groove or shiplap, no problem. It'll save us a ton of money. But yeah, we got to come up with a game plan here. As much as like I got that pull to just go do that, we would love to hike around Sedona. We're as far into like the southwest, or if we continue going down, like we'll stay in this pocket. I think once we go north, it doesn't really make sense to come all the way back down here. So we'll see. But yeah, we will keep you guys posted. Crazy turn of events, love it. You know, you never know with us, we never know with ourselves, and we're happy we're doing what we feel, where we're being pulled to, and that's a beautiful thing. It's not a case of where we're living our life for other people. We're living our life for what makes us happy and what works for us, and I think everyone should do that, including you. You know, when you live a life that...
Point into the camera.
Including you. When you live a life that you're happy with and with someone that you're happy with, it's beautiful. It's just, it's simple. And all of these friends and friends that we've met in previous trips that we've talked to, they get that and they understand that. And it might sound like I'm preaching. I'm not preaching. I'm only talking about our experience and the experience that I have, that we have had. But once you start focusing on the simple things and not overcomplicating everything, it's like it's really a beautiful journey. So we'll see what this next chapter has in store for us. We're excited. It's not the end. It's not...
This is the end of our channel.
Yeah.
Oh, you just start ramping it up.
Not living for the bus is what it turns into.
Oh, it's blowing.
So yeah, we're excited. We're excited for what this next chapter has in store for us and all of the beautiful memories. And the difference this time is when we were building out the van, what were you gonna say?
The new chapter of your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Conversion.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna say. Yeah, so I'll document this because there's a trend here where I bought the wrecked van, went and sourced all the stuff off Marketplace. When I sold my house and sold all my stuff and meeting up with people selling the stuff, I wish I had a GoPro strapped right here and documented that whole thing because it's wild. The story, even for me reflecting on it, buying this van when it was totaled, not being able to start it, you know, possibly being up the creek without a paddle, had the van not started, and then obviously Rachel and I were like, okay, hey, it runs, let's do this. We'll go into it both together, full-fledged, and it was an us thing. But when I was building this out, Rachel was in Minneapolis, I was in Wisconsin, and then it got to a point to where she put in her lease notice, and she's like, yo, we gotta hit the road. Like, we just have to do it. So...
We can't live at your parents for 6 months.
Right, and I was...
Like, we didn't sacrifice our own places to move in with your parents. We did that to...
We love my parents, but it was never the plan. At 32 or 27 at the time, 28, it was never, hey, I'm selling my house, she's getting rid of her apartment to move into my parents' house. And
especially when some of the like, I wasn't just saying it like barking, like, get going, get the van all spruced up. It was very much at that point like cosmetic things that you were focused on, like, oh, I think I could, you know, do this a little bit different. And I was like, this is fine. It's not gonna fall down.
We can paint it down the road.
Like those kinds of things.
None of these puppies have, there's stuff I would change, but none of them have came off the wall with all the washboard roads. So she was right.
Where, like, it wasn't, I was saying, you know, skimp on the safety precautions, let's just hit the road, Jack. Like, it was very much of like, I think you've done as much as you need to do, and I think we can always do renovations and edits down the road. Yeah,
we never would have left. I was looking for, like, not perfection in the literal term. Nothing in here is like perfect, but perfection in the sense of like, I could have did this better. I could have fine-tuned this. And I seriously mean this. If any of you have made it this far in the video or you're watching this and you're thinking about doing the lifestyle, just believe in yourself. It doesn't have to look like the Taj Mahal. Make it practical. Make it make sense. You can always change it, improvise it down the road, do it over a second time. Because when you overcomplicate the process and you look at it as like, oh, I'm supposed to build out this $300,000 van, this and that, it's supposed to be perfect. No, it's supposed to be practical. It's supposed to work for you, and you learn something along the way of just diving in and giving it a shot. stuff will break, stuff will come apart. You know, it's not square, it's not how you envisioned it to work, but you learn something. You grow through what you go through. And the difference with the bus now is going to be Rachel and I can stay in this van.
We're not long distance from each other, number one.
That too. There's no huge, immense pressure that we need to get it done, to where if I want to do a month worth of work and say, hey, we're parking it, you know, we're going to go travel or we're going to take a break from it, we can do that. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works, and I can't wait to reflect back on this. When our friends were here, they built their van out in Illinois in their condo parking lot, and hearing some of their stories, and then I was looking on Facebook at posts that I had previously before the van. It's just crazy. Like,
and the next day you bought a bus to do, you know.
We. Full disclosure, I think Rachel kind of talked me into it. I was getting cold feet. I probably had 9 hours of research into it, just toothpicks holding my eyes open. 2 a.m. I went to bed, woke up at like 6:30, back on the horse. She was real.
At one point, and I was like, is there literally 12 minutes left in this auction? And he's like, yeah. I'm like,
Still don't know if I'm gonna bid.
Have you bid? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
And then at the end, what did you say? Like
once it gets down to below 3 minutes, and if someone makes a bid, it resets 3 minutes.
So like, then at that point, he's waiting until like 3 minutes until the end, and like it's down to the ultimate wire, and I'm just like, there was 6 seconds left to make. You do you. At this point,
which I told you I was, and had she went out there, I probably would have bid up to the number that I had in mind, and then said nope, no more. But then when she'd come in here and touch base, I'd be like, I don't know, it's at this, and she's like, well, do you think it's a good bus? And I was like,
and I'm like, over 50 bucks here or there. Like, when you talk about it like that, it was just ridiculous.
And when you know, you would have had to hear about it for 3 weeks, so I would have been like
30 years, honey.
I should have been. Yeah, right. I've been good. When's the last time you heard about my cracked phone?
Have they heard about your cracked phone?
Yeah, well, in a different video. I probably haven't uploaded. Maybe I won't upload, but every video is just me recapping significant or significant to me events in my life.
Anyways, no, it was more the fact too, and then at the last minute, I like look at the clock, I'm like, I think the auction should be done by now, and I'm like, how's it going? And you're like, we won. And
remember though, like, it got to that one number, and I said, okay, I'm not bidding anymore. This is it. Like, this is the last. I think I'll have to recap the video. And then it waited and it waited, and at the last minute he bid. I can't remember if it was when I said I wasn't bidding anymore. It went up 3 more minutes. I bid another $50, and then it was like waiting, and I was waiting for his bid, and then it said, you won this auction. And I was like, oh shit. Like a panic mode. We're 27 hours from home. I wasn't able to talk to the mechanic. What if this thing's a lemon? Yeah, all these different things. Anyway, it's crazy. Out of the 2 buses, I think I said this at the beginning of the video, but the mechanic, or the guy that's in charge of the fleet, was like, I'm really glad you didn't get that other bus. You wouldn't have wanted that bus. That one held like 6 more passengers, so I think it was 7 feet longer, which is quite a bit of length, but it also had 130,000 more miles than this bus. More, so 170 I think it had, and this one has like 142, or this one has 42. That one had 170 something. It needed a starter. It did not run. When I was talking to the mechanic, he said, yeah, there was an issue with this where they thought they fixed something, and then en route to Flagstaff, it shut off and it had to be towed home. So what they thought they fixed, they didn't fix. That would have been a nightmare. So the universe works in mysterious ways. Let's hope all goes well with this. Can't wait to see our new house. And you can stay tuned on the journey. Here's been 30 minutes. It has been 30 minutes.
No, it has not.
Yeah, 29.22. Wow. And we have still not decided where we are going to go. That was the point of this. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to just put this up. And part of it is me sitting on the drums here, just explaining the situation and all that's happened over the last 2 days. But we do need to get a game plan together. We'll be out of water in probably 2 days, tops.
2 days max, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're 15 minutes from town, so it's not like if we run out of water, we're gonna be like, what will we do? Like, we can just drive into town. That's that. Day in the life. We got some decisions to make. What do you think? Does it make sense to head down to Yuma, or does it make more sense to start heading north?
There's no reason to go to Yuma. Like, we had nothing to do in Yuma other than try and see Connor.
Which it would be wonderful to see Connor, but he could meet us somewhere else too. Like, I think it would be the same distance for him to meet us over here than it would to go to Death Valley, but I know he was going to go snowboarding after.
Not at all. If he's going from his clinical, whatever it's called, rotation, if he's going from there all the way up to Mammoth, that's like a 10-hour drive.
Really?
He can meet us anywhere along that, and all of the options in Arizona are out of the way for him.
Sure.
Death Valley was still out of the way for him.
Sure. But he hadn't
So
done
it's
Death Valley.
It's a 8-hour drive for him.
So what would you like to do? Are we eliminating your cousin? Like, they're busy that weekend. It seems like that's a lot of just driving around, or is that something you're still considering?
It's 2.5 weeks away. Like, I don't think for logistics purposes it's
Right. We would love to see them. I'm not saying it like they're not worth it. I just mean in this straight sense of, are we doing
have
12
different
hours?
priorities now.
12.
Like,
The
I mean,
bus we've confirmed can wait. Like, it can. I mean, the bus isn't an issue. I got verbal. I'll get an email from them before next Friday if we're not going there for another 2 weeks, because it's $50 a day or something to store it and all of these other things. Which maybe then they'll be like, oh no, we need some money for whatever. I'd give them $75 if they want money. If they're worried about it, I'm sure they'll say no, but I'd rather go to them than some storage facility. And like he said, it's safer there than, because what would we do? We would go literally leave from here, go into Buckeye, get water, Planet Fitness. We got a ton of groceries still. And then head further west to Anaheim. That's for
can't go
2
to
weeks.
Anaheim
Yeah, so
for,
we're
like-
kind of just in limbo to where then
So Connor is the closest timeline of something
Sure.
we have to do. But Connor still isn't free until next Monday, 6 days from now. This is his route. If he goes straight from where he's going up to where he's skiing. He has not even told us he is
Yeah.
still skiing.
and we're still very, because here's the thing, where we're at here, if you look at this, if we go over to here, right, come here, wherever we're at here, we eventually have to make our way here within the next probably 3 weeks. End of the month, I would say, would be realistic. That still gives us, a good month to bounce around up in Utah. But for us to go here to Anaheim, we're probably not doing Death Valley, because then that's all the way up to here, then to come all the way back down to here.
This is where he's skiing.
Death Valley's like somewhere in there, is it not? Yeah, right there.
Okay, but still not that high.
Okay, well, I was just pointing general terms of
sure.
where it's north of Anaheim to where we'd go up, then come all the way back down, because we have to come back down here to pick up the bus. Unless,
The bus is way over here.
I understand on a map. No, you're right. You're correct. I'm just saying, like, down here, Arizona, right? The bus is in here, right in this pocket, right there. So we're here, bus is there, Anaheim's over here, Yuma's there.
We had no reason to go to Yuma other than to see Connor. He told us that he can only see us maybe for
day.
like lunch or something before he
Yuma.
starts work at 1 p.m.
Sure.
Yuma to where he's staying is still far. Like, I don't really know logistically how to even like meet up for lunch
Yeah.
or something.
Okay.
So I don't think that he gets there tomorrow, he's done on Sunday. I don't think there's any possible options to see him for those days. He is free next Monday and next Tuesday. That's it. So I really think that we just do whatever we want to do for the next 6 days, and then we tell him Sunday night, hey, this is where we're at, and we see. I don't know how to make it work.
Right. So that's up to you and I. What do we want to do?
It's
Because
almost just like we can't even go to Sedona now then, because everything else we do is backtracking. Like,
well, no, we totally can go to Sedona, because if we backtrack a half an hour, that's not a big deal. We could pick up the bus if we want to. It's just, would we rather have potentially 3 weeks of not screwing around with 2 vehicles?
But it's not like we'd go to Salt Lake City. We can't do that and then come back to Sedona. We can't go to Anaheim yet.
We can make our way north to Utah somewhere, maybe pick middle of the state, find a storage unit if it comes down to it, or potentially make a Facebook post or something, and park the bus for 2 weeks to where, yeah, we would still backtrack, or we just drive it along with us the whole way. But then we have to factor in, do we bring we would have to buy chains to go through Colorado up until like end of May, which will be through there before the end of May.
We have to be home in April at the latest.
For
a wedding that we already
the wedding. That's in the second week of May or first?
May 3rd.
So I say the furthest north we go at all is Medicine Hat.
What?
In Canada. I don't think we should go any further than that.
We've been to Medicine Hat.
I know. Isn't that kind of about where we came through the border?
Yeah, that's where we stayed at that.
Was that the teepee?
Yeah.
Was
I
it?
just journaled about it last night.
Did you? Funny that I would bring that up. Okay.
I don't...
We're enjoying the weather. It's not cold. It's to where it's up to us. Do we want to spend more time here in Arizona? Do we want to go we can go to Sedona.
Flagstaff is snow on Friday.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sedona is rain on Friday.
Oof. The thing with Sedona is they're those clusters, like some of the BLM there are those new lots to where it gets busy. But if we park in there's people all around. But like, that's hard ground. That's packed. That's not like so many people have went through there that we can park there if there's rain, snow, whatever. I'm not worried about that. But it's just, we're not going to have this. We're going to be stacked on top of each other. Unless we reach out to the people we met in Las Cruces and ask some recommendations. But is the weather going to be colder there? Probably.
Yeah, 55.
So these are the joys.